Hello, hello, amazing people. How are we all going? Welcome to the Root Cause Therapy Live Q&A. Okay. Say hello if you're here. So at the Center for Healing, we've got lots of courses, but we've got two main practitioner trainings. So we've got Root Cause Therapy, which is helping people heal at the root cause. And then we've got embodied processing. Hi, Lucy. How are you? So I've got to look down to see my comments because I'm streaming from Zoom, because we're actually going to have some students, current and past students, come on and answer questions as well and talk about their experience later on in the live. So that's why I'm streaming through here. I hope you're all having a lovely day. We've got a beautiful sunny day here in beautiful Mornington Peninsula in Melbourne. Okay, now if you've got questions, if you have come on here and you've got questions already, just start dropping your questions below. Hi Becca, hi Ivor. Lighting is not the best here, but we will make do. So say hello if you're here and where you are watching from. And yeah, just let me know if any questions, because I've got some frequently asked questions about the root cause therapy training. Yeah, so we've got the two main trainings, the root cause therapy training, which I'm the trainer of that, practitioner training, which is internationally recognized, certified, accredited with IICT. You can do this therapy in person and online. It's very, very effective for addiction, mental health, personal development, physical issues, things like that. And then we've got the embodied processing, who my partner Ryan and his friend Matt have created. So that's more somatic healing and therapy. So today I'm talking to you guys about root cause therapy, which we have been using for about 6 years now on our clients. And it's really, really amazing. So these are the frequently asked questions. So I'll wait until you guys start asking questions because I know it's a little bit delayed. So the frequently asked questions are, how long does it take? So normally it takes about 2 to 3 months for certification. So how it's delivered is through pre-recorded online videos that I've made for the main structure of the training. Then I do monthly live support calls. Under each lesson, you can ask questions. We've got an interactive and supportive Facebook group where you can ask questions as well. And I do master classes every 2 weeks, diving deeper into each topic. So we've got protocols on how to heal addiction, how to heal anxiety, how to heal depression, how to heal physical issues, how to heal sleep issues, and the list goes on. So you can go very deep into whatever area you want to niche in. You can access it from your phone, your tablet, your computer. It records where you're up to in the course, so you can jump back in as well. So that's all included in there. It's self-paced, so you can start anytime, take as long as you need, finish anytime. But like I said, normally takes 2 to 3 months. So you're usually looking at about, if you dedicate like at least 2 or 3 hours a week, you're looking at about completing the actual theory part in 1 month, and then another month to do the practice sessions. So to actually get your certification, you need to receive sessions and give sessions, which you can do in the group. So we enable you guys to be able to swap that in the group. we recommend that you get a practice buddy. So you do, when you get to that point in your training, you get a practice buddy, and you have to receive the minimum of 3 sessions and give 6 sessions. The more the better. And then you just scan me your documents, and then I go through all of your notes and give you feedback and then certify you if you're all good. So one of the main questions, because one of the things that we're very passionate about, the Center for Healing, is trauma healing. And this creates the amazing, amazing transformation in people. This is what really, really shifts people out of just managing symptoms, out of taking medications, out of just coping and only doing talk therapy and things like that. Doing this work on the deeper level in the subconscious, working with the trauma that could be the root causes of their current symptoms. And it doesn't have to be major traumas that you think of, right? It could be things like small painful events in the past where you were embarrassed, events in the past, especially ages from 0 to 7, but could be later on as well, that you were very ashamed, embarrassed, hurt, let down, you lost trust in the adults that are looking after you. It can be these little moments, losing our mum at the shop. And now that might not seem like a big deal, like we found our mum later, but for our nervous system, when we're little, we need our parents to survive. So our nervous system will go into a heightened state. And if the emotion is strong enough, a neurological pathway and limiting belief system can be created that we are now alone. Even though our mum found us 10 minutes later, the emotions are so strong that we were abandoned, or we no longer have our parents, creates this very strong fight and flight response that gets stored in the nervous system. So now as an adult, someone later on can get really anxious when they're alone. They always have to have someone around them, or they find themselves coping like using alcohol and food and things like that when they're alone. But at the same time, because they have that belief, they can keep recreating being alone and pushing people away even though they don't want to. And so if that's the root cause of it, we can ask someone's subconscious mind, what is the root cause of this current anxiety that you're experiencing when you're on your own? And the subconscious mind regresses and takes you back to the actual root cause of that. And then we're able to very safely heal that trauma. So when you study this training, you learn how to safely heal trauma, because if you're helping someone in the healing space, the coaching space, therapy space, counseling space, you are literally dealing with people's trauma all day, every day. So when you are giving someone advice and maybe they're not taking it, it's probably because of a belief system from some certain trauma. Again, it could be a big or little trauma. It could be, you're giving someone advice and they're like, yes, I want to do it. And then for some reason, they keep sabotaging it. The reason why they'll keep sabotaging it is there's something in their ego or their subconscious that is disallowing them from doing that, even though it would be good for them. They consciously want to do it, but their subconscious and their body is like, no, this is unsafe. This is unsafe to do this. So we're going to sabotage it, and your body takes over, your emotions take over, right? So this is why you being not only trauma informed, but knowing how to go, okay, there's something deeper here, there's a resistance. How do we go in and heal that so you can move forward with your life, so you can achieve those goals, right? So it's imperative that you have some kind of tool that you know how to use when someone presents with trauma. You might just be doing just like counseling or whatever, and then or coaching or helping a friend, and all of a sudden to the surface comes a repressed trauma that they maybe have been having flashbacks every now and then, and they're just like, don't want to think about it, and they push it away. And then all of a sudden it's really come to the surface. And then when someone is in that, their body doesn't know whether they're experiencing it right now or it happened 20 years ago. It's responding like it's happening now. So if you don't know how to safely help them process that and heal that and move through that, so then they can finally move on and let go of all the symptoms or issues that has caused, and for them to find out, because in root cause therapy, not only do we heal the trauma, but they also find out how it's affected their life up until now, right? And how that could have created behaviors, patterns, thought patterns, overwhelming emotions that maybe consciously they don't even know why they have those happening in their life. Because what happens is when we have a trauma, the subconscious goes, okay, your body can't handle this. You can't always be in this state. You couldn't you couldn't express yourself in that moment. You didn't feel safe to complete that emotion. And so now that emotion's trapped in the body. And not only that, the picture gets blocked out, right? All the information gets blocked out, especially when we're younger. But the actual symptoms of that still keep playing out, but we just don't consciously know why. So people might say, I'm depressed, I don't know why. I'm anxious, I don't know why. And these kind of things. And they might make connections with what's happening now. And often they think it's with what's happening now, or they projecting that filter onto what's happening now. But in actual fact, it's like that old trauma playing out. So we need to help them not only reintegrate it, complete the process of releasing the emotions that are still trapped in their body. And some of us have hundreds and hundreds of emotions still trapped in us from childhood because we didn't feel safe to express them. So this therapy is very, very emotions focused, where we are working on releasing all that. Because like the gold standard of CBT and all that, they say it's the gold standard of therapy, but their way of thinking is that the thoughts create the emotions which create the behaviors, when in actual fact our perception of what's happening and whether we feel safe in the moment or not creates a perception, which then creates an emotional reaction, which then creates thoughts, and then we put stories onto what's happening. And then the behaviors occur from that as a reaction to that because of that. And it's buried in us, and it comes out when we get triggered, even in adulthood. So some of us may be on the spectrum of we think our upbringing was pretty good and only a few things happen that we can remember, or at school or whatever, or first breakups and things like that, or money trauma, relationship trauma, or different traumas that can occur. Or there's a spectrum of, I know my childhood was very stressful, the environment was very stressful, we weren't allowed to express our emotions, we were walking on tiptoes. There can be like a whole scale, there was abuse and things like that. There can be a spectrum of that. But either way, we're always dealing with the trauma that's still trapped in the body. Either way, we're still dealing with that in the now, even though we don't consciously realize that's why we are the way that we are, right? And not only that, are we dealing with that, we're also dealing with passed down ancestral trauma. So they get passed down in the DNA. So often we have clients come in for a session and we go to do a healing, and it doesn't go to their childhood, it goes to one of their parents' childhoods or their grandparents' childhoods, where the trauma, like good things get passed down in DNA, but traumas can get passed down as well. That's been imperative for the survival of humanity, because we all had that experience of, well, if you touch a spider, you're going to die. Or if you go near we all have an innate fear of a snake, or most of us do. That's passed down so that we could survive. So good things are passed down, but other things are passed down that are no longer serving us as well. So I've even had clients where they've had allergies to food, and we've asked their subconscious, like, what is the root cause of this food issue? And they've gone back to an ancestor that was poor, and they could only eat rotten food, and their body was this person, their ancestor, because they had that experience, that was passed down in the DNA, right? And it was expressing in her. Whenever she ate food, her DNA was responding like that food was off, and she would have reactions like the food was off, even though it was fresh food. And even that was happening to one of her daughters as well. So that was getting passed down generationally. So once we healed that, now she can eat whatever she wants, and she's not having that reaction. So it can be really, really incredible, like what you can find in that sense. Again, if you guys have any questions about root cause therapy, drop them in the comments. I can see your comments. I know it's just slightly delayed, but just let me know. The other thing is, some people want to know what's included in the course when you sign up for the training. So you get the actual training itself, which is 8 modules, which is like several lessons under each module, to take you through exactly how to run a session, exactly what you need to do. Because I see actually in a lot of mainstream therapy groups that people finish uni and studying for like 4 or 6 years, and they're not taught actually how to structure a session or how to do trauma healing, which just blows my mind. So like this is kind of why I've created it, and I've created the course in a very practical way. You don't need prior training. I'm explain it like I'll explain it to a kid, like very like how I would want to be trained. Very like, this is what you do when this happens. This is what you do next. This is what you do next. This is what you do next. And even in a session, we've got a sheet that you go through with your client. So this is our kind of IP in regard, and it might, sorry if this is back to front, just because I think my screen flips it around. But basically, every session we're getting data. Every session we're finding out like what are they holding on to from childhood? Is there still or from their whole life, and also what they're feeling now as well. We're not just like psychology, we're just dealing with what's happening now. We want to find out what have people holding on to that they can think of since they were born. But this is an intuitive process. It's just letting the information drop in. So if I was to say to you guys right now, if I say anger or frustration, who or what comes up for you, the first names or events that pop into your mind, you could probably give me a list of some first names or some events, right? And so we go through that process, and then we go through and we check how they are feeling in each area of their life. So we're getting numbers, and this is data. So as we go from session to session, we can see how their numbers are going in each area of their life. This is kind of like a life coaching style, but I think it's really good data to have, because therapy and coaching and healing can be quite intangible, right? But we don't want to go around in circles and be talking around in circles with clients. We want to like get to the point, holistically see what's going on in their whole life, what they're holding on to, how there could be some patterns going on that, you know, life patterns. You know, some people are like, I keep cheating on my partner, and then, you know, it's just so happens that they watch one of their parents cheat, you know, growing up, and these kind of things we can bring into their awareness. Then every session we monitor their thoughts and behaviors. So every session we're like, okay, you said you were having problems with your sleep, waking up 3 times a night. Is it still 3 times a night? You've got the you keep having anger outbursts at your partner. Is that still happening? And we're monitoring any behaviors, usages, or thoughts that this client is having, and we can work on those directly as well. And then, because we like to work on all levels of consciousness, so the conscious mind, the subconscious, superconscious, physical body, which is also the mental body, emotional body, physical body, spiritual body, right? So we do find out what is physically going on, and we do teach you how to do physical healing in this as well. So I've had people that are meant to go to surgery, didn't have to, fully healed from stage 4 cancer without having chemotherapy. Hi, Mary Rose, how are you? So many amazing like pain that they've been dealing with for months and months and taking medication for. We're able to do a healing on that, and that shifts. Not only that, us just working on their trauma, even not directly working on their physical, seems to heal the physical as well. So if you've got someone that has a lot of bottled up rage, they might have TMJ, they might have hypertension, right, with all this bottled up anger. As you go back and start to release their anger from their past, these things naturally go away. These things naturally heal. So it's really, really exciting to watch. But like I said, in the course, we do have protocols on how to heal physical issues. And then we, because we are getting earlier in the session, all of the, hi Tamar, hi Becca, hi Deb, all of the information on what they're still holding on to and traumas that may have happened growing up. We're also checking belief systems, because belief systems can be formed in these traumas and can be the explanations as to why we're not as far in life as we want to be, or we keep creating these negative patterns, or we keep attracting bad luck and things like that. So for example, so we've got the whole list of core beliefs here, and then I also have like an extra list for money, relationships, and physical, like eating and weight and things like that. But the key ones are like, I fear being alone, I'm not good enough, it's not safe to be me, it's not safe to relax. So for example, if someone has the belief it's not safe to relax, there's someone that has to always keep doing until they burn out or until they get sick. There's someone that feels guilty for just relaxing on the couch. There's someone that maybe growing up, they were told they were lazy when they were relaxing, because that's like the workforce generational stuff that's being passed down to us. And I see a lot of people that end up taking stimulants coffee, things like that, because they're not allowing their body to naturally rest. We're not meant to be go, go, go all the time. We should be allowing ourselves to rest. But because they have this belief, they feel so guilty when they go to relax, even though their body is calling for that, then, you know, it's going to cause all sorts of issues in all areas. I'm not worthy. I fear rejection. I need validation. I fear judgment. Life is hard. So if someone has a belief life is hard, guess what? They're going to keep creating their life to be hard. These are self-perpetuating beliefs. So the awesome thing is that we actually do muscle testing to see exactly which ones that they have, a very easy way. And these sessions can be conducted online or in person. They're just as effective. And so if they have life is hard, they will keep creating their life to be hard. So you don't want to, like, if they say my life is hard and they keep saying that, you can assume they have that belief. But in root cause therapy, we don't make assumptions. We actually muscle test them to check their subconscious, which we teach you how to do, whether they actually have it or not. So in the first session, we might get a whole list of the limiting beliefs that someone has. Hi, Anne. And then later on, when we start to heal and shift things, and we can heal limiting beliefs directly, or traumas directly, or painful events directly, or emotional charges that they have with someone directly, then in each session we're rechecking and seeing which ones are shifted, which ones are left to work on. So you're very methodically working through each session with their goal in mind. So you're going to get their overall goal for like the whole scheme of working with you, and in each session they can give you a goal and you can work through that with them. And I cannot tell you how incredible the transformations are. Like, and I cannot tell you how many people have said to me, I've done 10 years of therapy, or 15 years of therapy, 20 years of therapy, and I got more out of this one session than I did doing all of that. Or, you know, they've stopped taking medication. It's like incredible. And people just say, like, everyone needs to do this. Everyone needs to do this, especially when we had a healing center. So we, just do a bit of background. We had a healing center in Melbourne, in Cheltenham, for anyone that's in Melbourne. We grew it to a team of 5 of us full time, and we were delivering a mental health and addiction program, basically using this root cause therapy. But I was so protective of it because it was so amazing, and I hadn't allowed myself to. I mean, Ryan, my partner, who I run the center with, he said, you have to teach people. He said that years ago, and I just wasn't ready. But I got to the point where I was ready, and now I'm sharing this amazing, amazing therapy with the world. So I'm so, so excited to get it out here to everyone. So many of my students, so I'm going to have a few students jump on shortly that are going to share their experience of how they've found it. So the study, and also the efficacy and the results that they've experienced for themselves and for others. Because a lot of people that sign up for this course are like, actually, I want this healing. Actually, I want to clear my limitations. You know, I've got goals that I keep procrastinating on. And I say, you can, you know, work with a therapist. You can see our list of practitioners, qualified practitioners. You go to the centerforhealing.com.au and click find a healer. Or you can actually sign up for the training, and you can do swap sessions and be able to work on yourself and get a certification at the same time, where you can actually work for yourself, make money. I mean, the average that you charge for one of these sessions is between $250 and $350, because you're doing so much in a session. It's a 2-hour session, and people are getting such amazing results even from one session, right? We do like to sell packages though, just to take people on a journey, and so they can see their results over time. You can literally fully help someone transform their whole life into a higher vibration, into a more positive space, let go of their mental health issues within like 8 to 12 weeks, just depending on the person. One of the main charts that we use is this. So this is by Dr. Hawkins. So this is the scale of consciousness. And this is where I had my initial like aha moment when I first came across this. Okay, so basically, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I should share it on my screen, but it's basically showing the frequency of emotion. So you've got your lower heavy emotions, so shame, guilt, apathy, fear, desire, pride. Most of the world is in this space. Most of people's baselines are down here. And then up here is what we're all kind of aiming for, the more positive emotions, so courage, neutrality, willingness, love, peace, enlightenment, right? So we all do everything that we do to try and get up here, but so much of us have so much baggage down here and stuff down here that our baseline is down here, that unless we go shopping, that unless we achieve another goal, that unless we take that drug or drink alcohol or do something, then we can feel up here. But when we stop doing those things, we go back down. And this was like imperative in healing my addictions, and then my partner Ryan's as well, was releasing these naturally, so our baseline naturally goes up. So, you know, I used to be a big alcohol drinker, and when I did this healing work and healed my anxiety, which is down here, and alcohol takes people out of anxiety, but obviously it's a short-term thing, right? Because it's just a band-aid. When I healed my anxiety, now I can't even drink alcohol. Now I can feel it pulling me back down because the vibration's back down here. So when we used to help people with their addiction recovery, we would literally just release all this, and sometimes they'd try the drug again or like go to relapse, and they're like, oh my God, it doesn't do the same thing that it did. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not addicted anymore. Not immediately, it takes a few sessions because our lives are so complex, so much has happened. But even after a few sessions, they'll start to shift and they'll naturally stop using. Because what I found is people are like stopping using drugs, but they're not dealing with the underlying pain of why they're taking the drugs in the first place, right? They're not, like, trauma is a gateway drug, they say. So if you're telling someone, like, if someone's broken their hip and like you're like, well, you're just gonna have to, like, you know, not take pain medication for that. Like, physical and emotional pain is so similar, right? So it's like it's to me that we would do that. So I've just got one of my students jumping in. Oh, she's graduated now. So I'm just going to bring her on. And if you have any questions for her. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm just seeing if I can oops. I think that's okay.
Okay.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Awesome. So yeah, if you want to just go ahead and just share a little bit about, for anyone that's interested in maybe taking the training, maybe they've had a look at it and they're not quite sure, maybe from your experience of actually going through the training and now actually doing it as a business as well, like you've integrated it into your business, that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I found root cause therapy actually by an accident. I was just like on Facebook. I forget, like maybe a Reiki group or something, and somebody was offering free limiting belief scans. And I definitely was into that because I know, especially the past few years, I've had a lot of things that I just felt like I was like being blocked, like as I'm trying to get further on my spiritual path and my business and that type of thing. So I signed up for the scan. I was absolutely blown away by the beliefs that I had. I had like 18 or 19 when I first started. But they were all things that I thought I had been working on. So I was like really shocked to know that my body did not agree with me. So when I had my first session, the breakthrough that I had personally for me, it changed my life already. I just want to go into kind of like one belief that I cleared that was probably one of the biggest so far. I was clearing the belief of feeling unworthy or not worthy. And I was brought back to when my mom was 4 months pregnant, actually. And I was aware of a conversation she was having with my dad about really not being sure if they were ready to have a baby. So it just made me feel unwanted, and I picked up on that belief. And even like going back to that experience was really sad. I just remember being totally overcome by emotion, crying. But then once that emotion was released and that fog just like lifted, and I was able to, like, it was just so beautiful. Like, the learnings I got were, well, number one, it had nothing to do with me at all. But two, that was actually like a form of love, and they just wanted to make sure that they could take care of a baby. My mom and I have to say too, we have never really gotten along. And the next day, it was just on my mind so much. I just keep replaying it over and over again that I had to call her. And I was like explaining to her what had just happened. Like she doesn't really do this kind of stuff much. So it was like pretty far out for her.
Yeah.
But I was explaining everything that was happened. And she was blown away that I was like aware of that conversation that happened. But I had to apologize. Like I was like, I feel like maybe I had these resentments that maybe were causing us to like butt heads for all these years. And all this time I'm blaming her and thinking, why isn't she doing this? And why doesn't she love? But the whole time it was feeling unloved, feeling uncared about.
Yeah.
And our relationship has gotten better
Yeah.
since releasing that.
That's so
So
amazing.
yeah,
I just had a question come through just before you go further. Tamar's just asking, how did you find out that like the belief that you picked up? She's asking if you can't remember
yeah.
consciously.
Yeah. So I didn't know consciously any of it. So I found out through the testing sheet, through the sway test. Is that my answering
Yeah,
correctly?
muscle testing. Yeah, and then I think I just asked her, Tamar, do you mean like the event or the belief? Yeah, I'll just check with her. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah. Um, yes. So after that, yeah, so like I said, things were getting a lot better with our relationship, and they still are, which I'm really happy about. The class, the RCT, well, after that happened, I wanted to learn everything about it because I wanted to like give this gift to other people.
Yeah.
So I was talking to the therapist, got the information for the class, and signed up. And the class was like really well organized. Everything is laid out in a very neat way. There's different sections for everything that you need. So if like the section for the root cause therapy class, and then there's a section to even like dig deeper into the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, mental disease, addiction, like literally anything you could ever have a question about is listed really neatly in the class. Melissa's been really quick responding to any emails or questions that I've ever emailed. Yeah, it's just been, the whole experience is wonderful. The Facebook community, people are so friendly. I had posted something asking if anybody was willing to practice and got like 8 or 9 people that responded, which was like so nice because I was, it's you get nervous like putting yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
But my very favorite thing about root cause therapy is, well, this is just the most rewarding thing I've ever done. But by being able to see other people's transformation and other people connect the dots and just find their happiness, like people that have been lost for so long, they feel like they're alone. They feel like nobody cares. Like a lot of times I feel like we're their last resort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I just love being a part of that. And I love being able to get other people to like where I am now. Cause I remember being back there, and it is a really sad, lonely place to be.
I just had Tamar, sorry, come back and ask. She meant the actual event.
The
Um,
actual event.
yeah.
So during a session, it's a little bit like past life regression, a little. So I was regressed back through kind of like a hypnosis to the root cause of that belief. So you would pick whichever belief you're working on that day, and you get asked when you go into like the light hypnosis, if you were to know what is the root cause of this belief, and our subconscious mind will answer the question. So I was able to say it was at birth, which actually shocked me when it came out of my mouth. And then when I actually like took that trip back into the womb, it was a wild experience too. It just almost felt like it was very soothing, very dark, very soothing, but very comforting. It was a really cool feeling.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I just had another question come through. Lucy just asked, there was mention of Reiki. Is that practice incorporated? And then you can
Yeah,
maybe
for
tell us
sure.
about your business because that's a great segue anyway. So where
Yeah,
people
for
can find
sure.
you as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Reiki practice before I found root cause therapy, and I felt like I was always trying to help people through trauma and addiction and this type of thing, and I felt like root cause therapy was like that missing piece, because with both of those modalities together, they're both helping release trapped emotions. They support each other perfectly. I work Reiki into my sessions, and I think there's some other people that do as well. But yeah, no, I think they work beautifully together. I think
Awesome.
Reiki actually allows them to get a bit deeper too, or any type of energy healing from what I've noticed. And when
Totally.
they're stuck in an emotion, or I feel like it helps.
Definitely. Especially they've been holding on to that for like decades, right? And for you, it was like in the womb. So like literally
Yes, some
however old you
decades.
are now, that's it's crazy, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is wild, but in the absolute best way.
Yeah. And so share with anyone that's interested in maybe working with you, and because you're actually delivering root cause therapy sessions now, right? So how they can find you and
Absolutely. Yeah. So I do in-person or online sessions. You can go to my website. It's Two of Hearts, Havertown, HAVERTOWN.com. You can book the first session for $1. And that's kind of like the free consultation. It wouldn't let me make it free. So it's $1. But yeah, I'd be willing to work with anybody, who wants to change,
yeah,
who
who
wants
wants
to
to
work through it.
change, some people like to try the therapy first before they actually sign up to do the course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Danielle will be able to do that if you're interested in that.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
awesome. Thank you so much. I really,
Oh,
really
you're so
appreciate it.
welcome.
If you want, you can drop when you jump off here, jump back into the live and just drop the link to your website if you want in the
Okay.
comments so people
Yes.
can find you.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Melissa.
Thank you so much. I'll speak soon. Bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, so Lucy, you asked with the RCT training, is it also incorporated during the training? So I don't actually myself teach Reiki, but in the root cause therapy level 2, we do teach energy healing. So you can learn how to do, because you can't do root cause therapy really on animals or babies and young children. I teach some energy healing so you can heal trauma in level 2. So when you sign up for level 1, you get the option to sign up for level 2. So you can do it then and there, or you can do it later on once you finish level 1, and it's quite inexpensive. It's just another course that you can do if you want to, if you are slightly more spiritual. And you want some extra tools as well, because we do pain healing and deeper work with the soul, life between lives, helping people find their purpose and things like that. So thank you so much for the questions. Awesome. And I've got another lovely person, I believe, coming on shortly. I think I've got Nicole jumping on. So stay here if you still want to hear different people's perspectives. So the next lady that I have coming on, if she jumps on, is she didn't have any healing background, therapy background, nothing. She just did one of our short courses called Going Deep, which is $49 on our website. We do have free courses as well. If you go to the centerforhealing.com.au and click find courses. But she did a $49 one, and that was kind of like her entryway into experiencing what we teach and the way that we teach it. And then she signed up for root cause therapy, and now she helps people with that. So I'm pretty sure she might have done Reiki, but I'm pretty sure she hasn't. Yeah. People who do the course and they are from completely unrelated backgrounds. Do you mean are they? Yeah, so they're from different countries, different backgrounds. So I have people that if you can have a look on our website, but people have graduated that are already counselors, psychologists, therapists, things like that, healers, coaches. But I also have so many people that have no background in therapy, have maybe just been working on themselves or looking into it, and now they've been able to do it full time, because in the course, what's included when you sign up for root cause therapy is the business training. So we have a full business training that's included. Takes you step by step how to start your own healing business. So Ryan and I started with nothing, And then we built it to just using root cause therapy, $30,000 a month. So for the last like well, not in the last year because we moved online, but before that, for like 4 years, and then we grew our healing business just using root cause therapy. And I had no background in therapy either when I first studied what I studied, and then root cause therapy came about a year and a half after that. So I have set up the training so you don't need prior to be a therapist or have done therapy as your background. You can start from scratch, and actually we teach you everything that you need to know about your business and about how to run the therapy, because I think that is missing in a lot of trainings. We also went to franchise the Center for Healing, and we spent $30,000 on a lawyer and a franchise consultant. So we didn't end up doing it because we ended up training everyone around the world. So you actually get all those documents. So essentially you just need to add your logos. We've got all the paperwork, the intake forms, the business side, the procedures, how to exactly run a program. We have everything in there that we have the procedures, we ran our office, how to answer the phone, how to take a free consultation, what to do when you're working with someone, resources that you can send clients. There is so much included in this. Plus you get direct contact with me. You can ask questions under each lesson. We've got the live Q&A. You get lifetime access to the business training and to the therapy training once you sign up. Yeah, awesome, Joanne. No worries. I hope that answers. I'll just see if Nicole's joining us. I don't think she's jumping on. Let me see if Julie, if you're here, if you're watching Julie or Jody, do you just want to jump in now? Because I don't think Nicole is rocking up. Who did I have on? Julie. Any questions? Keep asking away. I'm just seeing where my other student is. Awesome. So we've got Julie. Come on in. Oh, thanks, Danny. That's beautiful, Danielle. So if you put our website there, and yes, it's 10:30 over there in the States. So yes, we need more people to heal. Hello, Julie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good. You're looking nice and fresh today.
Oh, am I? Thanks. It's probably because it's not 7 o'clock at night when you normally see me.
Yeah. I'm used to seeing you. Julie's in our mastermind, which is at 7 o'clock in the evenings, and I think we're on the shadows at that time, aren't we? So Julie, thanks so much for jumping on. So I just wanted to kind of get you guys to jump on just from a student's perspective and also a practitioner perspective for you to explain what it's like for you and your experience. For anyone that's kind of thinking about doing root cause therapy training or kind of on the fence about it, they're not sure, and maybe they might have some questions for you as well, and I'll let you know if those pop up. So yeah, what has your experience been like, and how have you found the therapy as
well? My experience was it's such an easy course to do. Everything is there. It answered all my questions. I don't think I had many questions at all, and if I did, they were always promptly answered. And again, there's always like the Q&A calls that we have as well. So I'm often in there doing little questions. I think I probably had more questions once I'd started working with clients than I actually did from the course itself. So the course itself was, there's a lot in there, and I'm so passionate about what I do in this kind of work that I just flew through it. I couldn't get enough. If I could have spent 8 hours a day just going through each module, I just couldn't get enough, and that's how the experience it was for me. So I just wanted to get it done. I just wanted to start practicing. Because I'll give you a little bit about my background as well. I was a youth worker for many years in residential care for homeless youth. And I got so frustrated there because I was very big about telling them to, or encouraging them, not telling them, but encouraging them to go for psychology and deal with their issues now while they're younger. And they'd go to these sessions and come back just with tools to help with the actual symptom that they had, whether feeling anxiety or whatever. It was just a tool, and nobody was digging down to the root cause. And I got to the point where I was that frustrated, I actually had to leave working in that kind of work, because I would even go into psychology sessions with them, and because they wanted me in there because they were nervous. And it was just like, people just didn't seem to care enough. And I'm not knocking psychology fully, because there's definitely a place for talking therapy, but just not getting to the root. And that's why when I came across this name of root cause therapy, for me, it was just like bing, 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 bing. This is what is needed, because you can't heal anything. Nothing's going to go away if you're just using tools to suppress a symptom. And so this for me was just what I'd been looking for. And the results that I see with my clients are also, just amazing. They're amazed. And that just keeps you going, and wants you to, do more and more and put yourself out there more, because you just see such results in clients and so quickly, and watching them get their light bulb moments as well is just amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so blessed to have you in the course, and for you to see what's happening in that mainstream, and it be so frustrating as well. And what would you say around the actual trauma healing aspect? Because I know, especially if someone doesn't have maybe a background like you or any kind of therapy background, but they might be a bit nervous, or even some coaches and counselors are not trained in trauma healing. What would you say to them about that, about feeling how you feel about treating trauma with root cause therapy?
Yeah. So the difference is there's nobody trying to dig and find out in you. Like, I guess when a psychologist, if you do get a good psychologist who wants to try and dig down into wherever the initial problem started, they haven't lived your life to even begin to know the learnings that you need in order to heal. And the beauty of this is everything is in your subconscious mind. You have no idea how everything sits in your subconscious mind, whether it's through ancestry and through the life that you're currently living now. It sits there and you just don't know it. So when you go into this kind of therapy, when you're in that meditative state, and you just trust, and your mind will take you, your subconscious will take you to an event, and you're seeing that event through your own eyes. And once you've released all the emotions from that event, and you can see it from the perspective, a clearer perspective, the learnings that you need come in. No psychologist can ever know what you need to know. Only you can know. And that all comes in through your subconscious, all those learnings that you need to change your whole perspective around what actually happened in that event. So really, you're just the facilitator in that. You don't need to have all that knowledge. You just need to know how to guide them, and occasionally ask certain questions, or to guide the process to another little spot that maybe you feel I might be able to get a few more learnings from. And really, I just think of myself and think, what else would I want to know from this event that they're getting? And I just kind of guide them and ask them little questions. And often even you don't even need to do that. They just get the learnings themselves. And that's the power of this, is they heal themselves. We're just the facilitator and the guide. So you don't need those years and years of psychological theory. It's good to know, as far as, you know, I would encourage anybody to learn, especially about attachment theories and things like that. But even that, most of that I learned myself. You just learn parenting styles, look up parenting styles, those kinds of things, because that's what's affected childhood. And that is, you can self-teach yourself. And Melissa's got so much stuff in the course, in the resources section. There's so much in there as well that you can just go in, you know, if you've got a free hour, you just go in and look up something that interests you, that piques your interest, and you just watch that for a while, or read whatever it is. Some are watching stuff, some's reading. But it's just, yeah. And I think the more you start seeing the results in people, the more you want to know. Well, that's me anyway. I'm very passionate about what I do. Everybody always says you're so passionate, but that's just who I am, because I just, you know, I was just so frustrated for so many years working with people that weren't being helped. And now I have this amazing tool that you just see instant change in every belief that you do. It's instant, and they come out of it going, wow, I never ever thought of that before. And connecting, even if they've gone into past ancestry stuff, and they come out and they're still connecting dots to their current life today, and they're talking to you about what happened, and they start connecting more dots, and it's just so amazing to watch.
That's so good. You're almost more passionate than I am, Julie. You're passionate about it. I love it. You explain it even better than I do. So I must make you an advocate for sure. I love it. Thank you so much. And if someone wanted to work with you, Julie, if they like want to try root cause therapy with you, or know someone that would benefit from working with you and they're resonating with you, where can they find you to come and book a session? Where can they connect with you?
Yeah. Okay. So my website is juliescotthealingfromtrauma.com. So I'll just say that again, because people might be grabbing pens or whatever. juliescotthealingfromtrauma.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I did have a question come through.
No worries.
But it's not related to you, so I'll ask it after. But when you jump out of here, Julie, do you mind popping your website in the comments? So just in case people might just want to click on it.
Will do.
And it'll be
Okay.
easy for them to jump in and hopefully connect with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No worries. You're welcome. More than welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Oh, Julie is amazing, isn't she? And she's so passionate. And every day I feel so blessed that so many amazing people are in this training, and that the training is in, you know, these people's hands to take it out to the world. And, you know, one of my missions is to help people that are already helping people. You know who you are, people. You are empathetic, you love helping people, you want to do it, you know, but you want to work for yourself, you want to be helping people full time. You know, that's a part of my mission, is to help enable that for people like you. So that's why it's not just the amazing transformative tool of root cause therapy, and you get lifetime access and that support, even, you know, that supervision while you're seeing clients as well, and you continually get the updates and new classes as I do them, but also you get the business training as well, which I think is really missing in most trainings, because you need to know how to put yourself out there. You need to know the basics, or even if you already have like a small healing business or therapy business, maybe you just need to release some resistance and get that motivation, or have some more information on how to get yourself out there more, so you can do this full time. I remember one of the girls that used to work for me full time, and she was in another job and kind of doing this on the side, and I'm like, come and work for me, because you are amazing. Like, you, not that they're wasting their time where they were in the office job, but I was like, you need to people need you, like the world needs you. The world needs so much healing right now, and especially during these times. I mean, people are getting, you know, more mental health issues because of everything that's happening, right? And so we need like an army of healers. The world needs this healing. Oh, Julie has just dropped her details down there below. So please, if you resonate with her and you would like to experience one of these sessions, and have any questions for her, then definitely connect with her. So her website is just there. Beautiful. Okay, so please continue asking questions. I've got a question here from Lisa. Is it okay to treat a pregnant woman, and could this negatively or positively affect the baby? So it's okay. It's not dangerous. If I've had a client that's pregnant, I just like imagine a blue light around the baby. What we've learned from healing trauma, and even you would have heard with Danielle earlier, is that sometimes you go back into the womb, is to the woman that you're treating, make sure she internally tells the baby whatever's just about to happen isn't about them. Because we are fully conscious from 3 or 4 months old in the womb. So whatever's happening, however the mum is thinking or feeling, the baby will pick up on that. I will get them to sign a waiver. I probably would shy away from it slightly. Just for me, when I was pregnant, I didn't want anyone to go near me or touch me. I was very sensitive to that. So it's personal preference, but yeah, it's safe. It should be fine. Can you still work and do the course at the same time? Yes, because it's self-paced. You can do it. You can, if you've only got 1 hour a week to study in between work, you can definitely do that. There is no time limit as to how long you have to complete it. So I'm just going to see if I can add Jodie in, because she can't get in. Just a moment. Jodie. So I've just got another student trying to get in, and she's having just a little bit of trouble. So apologies. Keep asking questions if you have any. No worries, Lisa. Where are you? I'll just see if she can jump in. Okay, so yeah, when you get certified, so once you complete your practice sessions, so you need to give 6 sessions and receive 3. You can give those 6 sessions to I wouldn't say close family, because you might have caused some of their trauma, but like more distant family or friends or acquaintances or clients, or we recommend you swap sessions in the actual root cause therapy group. You just, when you start the course, just do a post and say, I'm ready to experience a session. And you can swap sessions and kind of get a practice buddy there to get your hours up. Then I check all your notes, send you your certificate. Then you can register with IICT, which is internationally recognized. So it's recognized in nearly all the countries. So you can get indemnity insurance and have the accreditation. So you can practice online or in person. So it's like, it's not just like a course that we've just made our own kind of certification. It's actually accredited. Okay, let's just see. I don't think she can get in. I'm not sure why. Jodes. I don't think she can get in. That's okay. Does anyone else have any other questions? Oh no, she is in. Okay. Here she is. So we've got Jodie here. So Jodie was, well, she still is a yoga teacher. I can just see a picture of you, Jodie. I can't see your face. And then anyway, she ended up, there you are.
Sorry, I had to cross the road.
No, that's okay. Oh, it looks so beautiful and sunny down there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, I was going to be in the studio, but it's really noisy in there at the moment. So yeah,
that's okay. This looks beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
So Jody, yeah, so for anyone that's watching that may be interested in root cause therapy, but they're not sure, or they're on the fence, what would you say to those people about it, and what's your experience been with the training and the therapy itself?
Oh, look, I've loved it. I've absolutely loved the RCT, and I've done the level 2. I came to this with no experience at all, and that was a bit of a worry for me. My only experience was, life experience, which is, pretty much a prerequisite, really. and not even, huge traumatic stuff for me, but just the little things that play out in your life now, that have consequences now that didn't seem much at the time. And so I'm really enjoying it. I used to be a hairdresser, so standing behind the chair listening to everybody's woes for 33 years, I think that was probably my apprenticeship as far as RCT is concerned, but of course wasn't able to give my opinion on anything or help them in any way. So yeah, and then I went to yoga and saw a similar thing on the mats when people would come to yoga, and you could see their emotions playing out on the mat in their bodies. So yeah, that's when I thought, well, this came up and I was looking for something to add to my yoga for private sessions and what have you, and that was perfect. So thanks.
Okay, thanks. And how did you find the actual, like, the course itself, and then also giving and receiving sessions?
Yeah. Okay. So the course itself, as I said, I've got no background in therapy at all. I've never even been to a therapist. So, and the way my brain works, it has to be simple. It has to be really easy to follow. And that's exactly what the course is. So yeah, it's so well laid out that anyone can do it. So if I can do it, anyone can do it, really, as far as the learning, of how it works is concerned. The sharing of the sessions was, I loved it, because as I said, I've never experienced any therapy before, let alone something like this, and it just blew my mind as to where it took me. The first session I was thinking to myself, oh, is this real? and then just how I felt the following week was incredible. And after sessions, the few next sessions, I just felt my whole nervous system settle, and I didn't even realize I was stressed. So yeah, and giving sessions too for the first time was really simple because of the way you've laid out the course, and how teaching us how to take a session, or lead a sestion. Yeah, so you've done it really, really well. Structured really well. Yeah, just for anybody that that wants to do this, but is not trained in normal therapies. It can be a little overwhelming, I think, thinking about how do I get into it, but the way you've done it is really, really well done.
Oh, thank you, Jody. And did if anyone wants to have a session with you, so Jodie does yoga, by the way, as well online, which is incredible, and I do it because it's amazing. I just have to say, but I don't know. But if you want to experience a root cause therapy session with Jodie and or yoga, which I recommend both, where can they find you?
Yep. So it's jodiecorinyoga.com.
Okay. So
Yep, and that's on Instagram, Facebook, and my website. So
could you just
Jodie
spell
Corin
that out?
Yoga.
Could you just
Yep.
spell that out? Yeah.
Yep. So JodieCorinYoga.com. Awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank
No
you. And
worries.
congrats on your new space. I'm so excited.
I know. Yeah.
This
So I'm going
morning,
to
and
pop
I'm
it
like, oh, it's happening so quick.
all through the socials. We'll have updates. So yeah, stay tuned. Can't wait to get it all
Awesome.
going.
So good. Well, I'll chat to you soon. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Jodie.
Mel.
Really appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, isn't she lovely? Oh, there she goes. That's wonderful, Jodie. So I was really lucky wherever I am if I have a student in the local area, because my partner and I and our baby, well, he's a toddler now, we've been traveling mostly the last year and a half. So wherever we've been, if I've got a student in that area, and I've been able to, see my students in person and become friends, and Jodie was one of them. So like I said, and do try her yoga, it's amazing as well. I do Monday nights at 5:30. So that was really good. So any other questions? I'm going to start wrapping this up. If you have questions for me that you'd like to ask me in private, maybe you can email me at mel@thecenterforhealing.com.au. That's MEL at the center, CERTRE of healing.com.au. Or of course, you can just go to our website and click on Messenger. If you want to see the course, just go to thecenterforhealing.com.au and click see courses, and the root cause therapy one should pop up. But we also have other courses. So when you click on the root cause therapy course, you can do the free pre-training. And if you do the free pre-training, there's a special bonus in there. You can get 40% off at the moment. So definitely jump on that if you've been on the fence about it. And you also get an option to get 50% off level 2 as well at the moment. And we've got other free courses if you just want to dip your toe in trauma healing, because Ryan and Matt have courses as well. We've got understanding trauma. We've got a course for family members of those with addictions. We've got relationship to life, which is the more spiritual, philosophical. I can't say it properly. But they're just short courses. But if you want to do practitioner trainings, we've got this root cause therapy, which we've just been talking about, and then the embodied processing. So jump in, connect with us. If you want to get access to our courses, the whole lot of the free ones and the short ones, you can join up to the membership as well. So if you click on the website and click membership, and that's free for 7 days, you get a free 7-day trial. So lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for coming. I absolutely loved it, and I'm so grateful to have so many amazing students, and I hope that maybe you'll be one of them as well to come and join our community. It's really supportive. Like I said, you get lifetime access. There are payment plan options as well, so making it as accessible as possible for everyone. It's very affordable for most people. If you're in Australia or New Zealand, we also have Zip Money, so just email or message us if you'd like to use Zip Money. Thank you so much, Lucy. Thank you, Jeanette, Lisa, Joanne. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day, and I will speak to you all soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.